All right, welcome back, kids. I got a fun one here. It is a little bit of science class, so I even included like a little science demonstration and such. But this kind of goes along with that last chapter about who the hell's in charge of this world of ours and why they treating us humans so bad, you know? Just in case you didn't see some of the last chapters. Kind of flows into this here. So I titled this chapter, Energy for Free. And I really think this chapter demonstrates how far I've come from not being able to speak. My book is Sacred Mountain, Living with CTE in the Wild West. And I had to reteach myself to speak and stuff. But let's just see how far I took that. Energy for free. Whoo! You know, I'd love to see someone build and make millions. Oh, wait, I am old. It's billions now, right? That would be these two simple ideas, or three. I got another one I want to show you. For harnessing of sustainable energy to power your house as well as run your car. The cost to produce would be minimal, and the sustainability comes from an inexhaustible source. The car power idea I have had for years and have only recently been interested in pursuing it. The power idea I got in the same manner as the Mother Earth charging station I created. It came in a lucid dream state, or this energy idea happened last night. In the chapter on working for the county, I tell a quick tale of Wendy's natural gas implementation within all county of Kern waste facilities. My wife likes to read, and she had come across an article where a company was paid up in Northern Cal to tarp the waste facilities, ship fields, to capture all the natural gas. Did you know that after bringing that article into work and my boss passed it into his boss, the county decided to do it. They tarped everything the county had and paid for production of natural gas. I wasn't sure if the company just paid for the gas or if the county used the gas to power the vehicles or both. Knowing the county, they probably just paid for the gas at wholesale, or gave for the gas as wholesale and then buys it back for a fleet at resale. Get paid for the gas at hotel and buy it back at resale. County is stupid. I do wonder how that all went down, but the cool thing was that they did it. So the question is this. If the county runs cars and buses off natural gas, barbecue-sized tanks, then why can't we run our cars off the waste vents coming off every roof? I have personally burned my hand on a vent pipe with the gas. I watched a show a few years back about different building techniques down in South America. It was super interesting and a bit gross to think that they pipe their septic gas to the kitchen for cooking and to the water heater for hot water. Would someone please solve the problem of gas prices, electric prices, unsustainable electric grids, unstable oil markets, and ridiculous taxation? Let's build a vent gas compressor to compress the waste gas coming off the roofs into a barbecue tank to run our cars and trucks. Shoot, they already have motors set up for it. They even run buses off natural gas. It's all natural and produced by all of us every day. Maybe more on the weekends. Gross. All you need is just the electric power to run the compressor. There you go. There's one. How could we be solving all them problems if we were relying on electricity? How do you solve the problem of toxic waste production by solar panel creation? That's right. Toxic waste production by solar panel creation. They make huge toxic waste grossness to make those panels. People don't know that. Or the bird chopping environmentally unstable windmills. To solve the problem of power, you first must know a bit about how it's created. While a worldwide Tesla power grid or Wi-Fi charging would be the best using the current of the spinning earth, we did not go that way as a society so many years ago. The powers that be industrial decided that free energy was not the best interest of their pocketbooks, or more so power, and thus we were sold power generated from mechanical motion. For that same reason, there has been no creation of the system I mentioned below. The way we make power currently, is by spinning a magnet inside of a coil or copper wire. The magnet spinning transfers the energy of motion. It does this as it alternates the magnet. Then the magnetic field also alternates. This alternating magnetic field then changes the surrounding electric field, then captured by the copper wire, thus transforming the energy of motion into actual electric power, AC alternating current. A solar panel does not work this way. It transforms heat energy into electric power. However, they are super toxic to create. Too many heavy metals are used. Windmills are simple and good power producers in this simple generator magnet coil technique when the wind blows, as long as it is not too hard for them and the blades can break. In college, my physics professor, who was a great person, Howard Lukefar, hope I spelled it correct, expounded on the creation of power and more so the controversy of energy transformation of energy, of the energy or transformation of energy. Did you know that nuclear power is just the same old thing? All that science to heat water into steam with a nuclear reaction just to create steam to spin that magnet. So crazy, so toxic, and so hybrid. My proposition for clean, abundant energy is not high tech, it's common sense. You see, they don't want a society where everyone has free power and fuel, but we already create the motion needed and fuel in the supply of our house. Bringing it back to my old Professor Howard, one thing I have to say about that man, he was understanding when I dealt with CTE back in college. Good guy. His career was focused on power creation, and at the root of all science was the controversy of energy. Back then, he was doing a project fusing atoms together with lasers to create a fusion reactor. Did you know that his work, even with that the high of technology, had to deal with the conservation of energy? The lasers could fuse the atoms, creating a lot of energy. However, at the same time, lasers took more power than the reaction could create, thus losing the fight with the conservation of energy. I like common sense approaches to things. Like the use of fuel we eat to power our vehicles through the collation of waste gas vents as mentioned above. Or create all the power you need on your home through the capture of the motion that the home already requires. Homes don't move, but the water that every home requires does have motion. Powerful motion, just like a nuclear power plant. Not steam, but water itself pressurized 60 to 100 psi. Think about it. Generators need to be created that use motion of water. Hydroelectric, but on a small scale. On a personal scale for each home. I figured 2 generators using the flow of water to spin the magnet inside of a steam instead of steam or wind. Every time you turn on the faucet, you would be charging the battery bank like a windmill. This can be used for the creation of all human power. Cities can tap main water pressure for big power creation. There are large pipes pushing a lot of water and a lot of pressure. Would someone please do this? I told my boy Aiden to get on this. Haha. And I even got a better one for you now and a little fun science project, okay? So because I have CTE and brain damage and I had to relearn to talk and all this other stuff, this is one of my tools that I use. And it was one of my favorite things in high school to mess around, which is called electrolysis, right? So if you put a current through water, which is what we do here now in this fancy little machine, it's the oxygen breathing machine for old people. Well, I say old people, that's kind of rude, I guess. But anyways, and it shoots oxygen through this thing, right? But the oxygen is not just out of nowhere. It comes from water. So water is H2O, right? The O is 1 and H is 2, right? There's 2 parts H, 1 part O. So I'm getting the 1 part O right here. And if you can see the bubbles that are going on here, it's freaking intense, right? This is off of a low 110 volt power, right? It's giving me this intense flow of air. I literally do not even have a tenth of a cup of water in there, and this will give me airflow like this of oxygen, which is half the part of hydrogen, for hours off of this tiny little bit of water, right? So here's the idea, right? They already know this. They have hydrogen motors already, but they won't sell you the water electrolysis program for it. No. They're going to only sell you the hydrogen gas because then they make money and you're just still a victim to their slavery, really. But yeah, all you got to do is you got to take the other node. You know, I can't remember if it's positive or negative, which does which gas, but by putting electricity through the water, you separate the bond between oxygen and hydrogen. You separate that bond, you collect the gas. Hydrogen is the most volatile gas that we have on Earth. It burns absolutely clean. There's no waste off of the burn of hydrogen. They know this. They could give us this. We could run our cars off of a freaking half a gallon of water for 300 miles, and they know this. But we're all slaves, guys. Wake up to it. In these crazy times, We really need to wake up. That was fun science, huh?